We know this person. We know Andariel Pants Halo. We know you. We also had a whole bunch of their work before. I mean, Series 3 seems to be like the one where they had the most work in. I believe 2266 is the last one for the world to dictate her death. Yeah. 226866. Yeah. Woman that comes out of TV but then is invisible and you're like what the fuck? Where'd she go? What's happening here? I'm also wondering what's happening with here because like my body's not acting well. Copy of A is this one. That's the name of that one. Okay, of this one. Oh, hey, it's Keller. Special containment procedures. SB2288 is contained in special quarters inside. Note C added containment procedures with padded walls and a ceiling containing two separate vents to allow for the introduction of an inhalation anesthetic. Subject is provided with with bedding, not with bleeding, and reading material in the form of softcore books and a television bolted to the wall behind secure cover. Specifically, a specialty remote control is to be provided, made of short, softened material and capable of being utilized as a deadly weapon. Subject is to be monitored at all times. In the event instances of -A beginning to manifest, warfarin and desflurane anesthetics are to be invented into containment chamber unit SCP-2288 and / or living instances of -A are incapacitated. At such time, living instances of -A are to be terminated while SCP-2288 is to be kept anesthetized until containment chamber is repaired. No. SCP-2288 is not to be kept anesthetized longer than necessary due to the risk of containment containment breach, not containment hard. SCP-22. You know what? I'm gonna take another bite of the chocolate. Come on. SCP-2288 is to be fed 3 times a day in the form of easily portable meals, not requiring the use of utensils. Amount of food and drinks provided to be sustained at appropriate levels for 1. SCP-2288 is to be observed finishing its meals and is not allowed to hoard food or drink apart from a single 500 milliliter container of water per day. Terminated instances of -A are to be scanned for contraband and placed in mortuary storage on site. If an instance of -A poses a biological, radiological, or anomalous threat to SCP-2288 or any other individuals, it is to be incinerated following a standard autopsy and/or toxicology report. I need to check something real quick. Okay, we're back. Sometimes you just gotta look at the girl that you like and see her smile and just be like, I'm gonna do this for you. Terminate instances of -A are to be scanned for on the brand and placed in mortuary storage. Sorry, on site. If an instance of -A poses a biological, radio, yeah, I already read that. Addendum. As of the 8th, 21st, 2014, SCP-2288 has been relocated to Site 299. Site is subject to an ongoing process of mass body disposal to prevent an NK class scenario. Relevant details are restricted to personnel assigned on site. SCP-2288 is a 19-year-old Caucasian female, formerly a student at the University of who under certain life-threatening conditions produces decreased duplicates of itself. Copies of SCP-2288 labeled -A appear to initially occupy the same time and space as the subject, coming away when the subject is moved. Additionally, instances of -A have contained copies of inanimate objects on the persons which the subject SCP-2288 may have come into contact with a presumed time of between 12 to 18 minutes after last touching the object. Duplicated objects have not been found to be anomalous and are identical to the original counterpart in every way. Okay. Subject has displayed no voluntary control over the apparition of these duplicates, which appear to be related to physical altercation in which the subject's life is in peril. Despite full cooperation and compliance from the subject, no method currently exists to ensure complete cessation of its anomalous effect. This anomaly was first discovered when SCP-2288 suffered a serious injury on campus when an instance of -A emerged as students moved into aid and reorient the subject. Local authorities were called and the instance drew the attention of Foundation agents and the police force. After receiving medical treatment, the subject was taken into Foundation custody and amnestics were administered to students and faculty. Subject was in a highly agitated state, claiming to no knowledge of its anomalous behavior. While in containment, SCP-2288 began to resist Foundation personnel, necessitating use of force in restraining the subject. Subject sustained serious injury in the scuffle, necessitating medical attention. While receiving treatment, an instance of -A emerged from the subject. An autopsy determined -A sustained an identical wound to that received by a subject, which provided fatal in SCP-2288-A's case. For the instance of -A continued to bear signs of injury consistent with trauma SCP-2288 has experienced, which have proven fatal for the duplicates. Autopsies performed upon deceased instances of -A have failed to determine a likely source for the instance, or any anomalous feature inconsistent with 2288 itself. Instances of -A have been found to be genetically and physically identical to SCP-2288. Scars and lingering injuries have accumulated on instance of SCP-2288-A, consistent with the original subject at the time of duplication. Experiment logs. Despite the misgivings of several researchers, names will not be included in the official report. Authorization was given to conduct a series of experiments upon SCP-2288 to determine the following. When the subject has direct control over its anomalous effect, whether the subject has indirect control over its anomalous effect, such as self-harm for the purpose of manifesting instances of -A, whether the subject is capable of manifesting individual subjects alone, the circumstances under which living instances of -A manifest. Inconclusive. Experiment 1. SCP-2288 is physically restrained within its chamber and left for alternating periods of 6 hours. Subject is fed and allowed to watch television. Schedule continues for 4 days before subject becomes Uncooperative. Subject forcibly sedated and experiment continued another 9 days without major incident. Subject then released and treated. Prognosis. Instance of -A manifested after end of experiment. Rigor and discoloration place time of death between 6 to 18 hours prior to the experiment end. Subject complains of pain and numbness, but was at no point during the experiment near death. Experiment 2, SB2288 equipped with a brand ballistic vest and fired upon with a 9mm pistol. Subject falls to the ground shouting in pain. No instance of -A manifests. Blood determined to be from the subject appears to at side. Wait. Blood determined to be from the subject appears at site of impact, but no perforation of subject skin found. So wait, did it duplicate the impact? Is that what happened? Experiment 3, SB2288 placed in medically induced coma and monitored carefully till expunged. Cleanup effort takes several weeks despite the medical bay estimated at. Subject recovered from the mass without further loss of personnel. Experiment 4, SB2288 given steady doses of arsenic and monitored. Subject displayed signs of acute arsenic poisoning and is quickly given treatment. While subject turns aside to vomit into a container, an instance of -A manifests, apparently asphyxiation. More instances manifests before subject is stabilized via gelatin therapy. Prognosis: subject stabilized with some difficulty as instances of -A began exerting pressure on the subject while restrained, threatening to violently overturn the operating table. Subject held upright by personnel, allowing instances to fall away without disturbing the subject. Experiment end after this point. Addendum 1. On 2014, a living instance of -A manifested unlike prior incidents, dressed in civilian clothing and carrying a backpack. The instance was unaware of its surroundings and became belligerent, necessitating physical restraint. Medical examination of the living instance classified as -B. There are no past signs of physical trauma consistent with all prior instances recovered thus far. Found in the subject's backpack were textbooks and writing instruments along with personal redacted, and a student identification from the University of listing the subject's name and the current year. As -B displays the same abilities as the original subject, -B is to be restrained and housed with SB2288 to ensure psychological health. All conversation between the subject are to be monitored, and future requests for entertainment devices are to be considered more favorably pending further compliance and good behavior. So if they want the PlayStation Pro, the PlayStation 5 Pro, just behave. A list of items recovered from -B's backpack include 2 history books, textbooks published by Redacted 6th edition, a 5-subject notebook, each divided contains a syllabus for a different class. Class include history of the world of up to 1650, introduction to thermodynamics, reinventing the wheel, out of print, the Red Dragon, the king of the Queen Empire, from 1644 to today, Blood, Broads, and Bastards, medieval lives in West Europe. A handwritten letter, presumably written by -B, addresses to an Anna. Addendum. On the 8th 21st, 2014, -B requested and was granted a meeting with SCP-2288. During the meet, -B began to manifest deceased copies of itself. SCP-2288 took advantage of the situation, assaulted and killed -B. Despite its death, instances of -B continued to manifest from its body. The floor was temporarily evacuated as bodies continued to mount. As of 2014-B has not been recovered, and all personnel and SCP-2288 have been relocated to a nearby Site 299. Recovery team continues to activate search Site for -B corpse. A portion of SCP-2288's interrogation has been attached. Interview log, okay. Not very long, good. Interview conducted by Dr. Esther Hazy. What a name. Extraneous content has been redacted for parity. Begin log. I don't have to explain to you why you're here. I broke a prison building. Sorry. At least now you know if it doesn't stop if I die. What prompted it? What were you thinking? Isn't it obvious? Killing is killing, no matter if you're killing someone who looks like you. I've seen myself there more than enough times. You think I gave a shit about another one? You didn't kill all the others. Yeah, I did. They're dead and I'm not. And then when you try to kill me. We aren't trying to kill you. I killed her because I'm smart. I've come to see your way of viewing the world. What's that? You contain me because I'm an abomination. A freak of nature. You also had a rough time handling me. You've tortured me, subjected me to experiments, and have me imprisoned with no signs of ever going home. You expect me to play along with you forever? I mean, hey. Wait, her, meanwhile. She was new. She never been subjected to what I've been subjected to. Probably from a completely different world. She prospered here, safely contained and cared for. You think then that we would kill you and then replace you with her? Who the fuck am I? An anomaly? If there were two of me, you wouldn't have to deal with me. But now you do. However, and if another living one comes through, I'm going to break her neck as soon as she pops out. We don't kill people. What do you do with all these people? Those prisoners you have working and helping with tests. Your peons for your worldwide secret gulag. Why do I never see the same people every month? They transfer to different facilities on a monthly basis, depending on the task and importance of certain projects you think will kill them too. You call me subject, it, they, SCP-2288. Never. I think the moment a fresh-faced new 2288 drops from the quantum asshole, you're going to bury me in a box and leave me myself to feed the worms. Fuck you. I'm not talking anymore. I mean, to be fair, like, she's right and wrong. Because, like, the Foundation will not kill her unless it's absolutely necessary. But at the same time, she's right that like we don't kill people. Like, don't lie to yourself. Having a sudden clone of yourself when you are close to dying would create so many doppelgangers. We gotta hope the last one is short.